Well, I'm terribly humbled by this whole evening. I really am, and I was advised that I should make my response very brief. So thanks everyone for coming. Good night. I'm going home and watch TV. Oh my, no, seriously, I was only kidding. Seriously, I want to thank the Venango Area Chamber of Commerce for this award. Make a few remarks of accepting of this, and I also congratulate the Chamber in their 100 years of being in existence. I thank everyone in attendance, and I shall not try to name all, as I would probably miss some. However, I thank my sons, Louis and Jack. I thank my sister, Doris. I thank Joanne. I thank my family, my friends, and certainly for my faith in God. I also thank the good friends at Hank Sewer and Bob Jeffrey, who I've known a long, long time, and Joe King also, who has been part of this evening. And I thank Susan and her staff for a very hard, I know a lot of hard work. Thank you very much. I thought, what brought me here, this podium this evening, and what has been important in my life? I believe that respect for others and teamwork have been of the most importance. Among other things, my grandparents were immigrants from Germany, and the house driveway was one of the first ones, and so I went up and we scraped the grass off and put down the asphalt, and it really, I can recall, it looked very good. And about 2 months later, Newhouse called me and he said, "Who's going to cut the grass on the driveway?" I went up there and I couldn't believe it. The grass grew right up through. As I told my father, and he said, "If we're going to do this," he said, "you better learn how to do it right. Go up there and take that out and do it right this time." So we did that, and did a lot of things after that. But I always recalled that, and they're here to verify that I grew up in an era of time that we had great respect for our school teachers. And sometimes we didn't realize this at the time, but we realized it much later, especially Miss Margaret Reed, who not only taught English, but she taught values. And there's about probably 10 or 12 of my high school graduates here tonight that had Miss Reed that probably would easily attest to that. And her esteem grew as the years went on. Unfortunately, she passed away a few years ago. I also grew up in an era of time, fast fleeting, where men walking down a street, the man would walk along the curb and the woman inside simply to protect her from splashing or cars or whatever. It was also a time that men opened the door for women and they went in first. And it was a time that we would offer a woman a seat on a bus. And then we would when entering an elevator and exiting an elevator, that the woman would always go first. And a man would take his hat off if he was going into an elevator. I grew up in that world, and I still try and observe it, and it was a great time, and I hope maybe sometime that will come back. But, one of the greatest events in my lifetime, and I was just going to the University of Pittsburgh at the time, and Dr. Jonas Salk, if you remember him, at age 39, developed the vaccine for polio. And it was a time, because I can still remember my mother saying, don't go near the water, don't go near the pool, don't eat an apple without peeling it. You never knew how polio was going to strike. And it was a terrible thing for people to end up in an iron lung, and but that was one of the great developments, as well as the space age, certainly in my time. I met my friends Hank Soar and Bob Jeffrey at Southside Junior High School. Our friendship became stronger and remains to this day very strong. It's great to have them here tonight. They both come in from Florida in the last day or so, and are going back, so I appreciate that very much. And at Well City High School, I was privileged to play basketball with some very talented teammates. We had great respect for our coaches and also for the other teammates. We played hard, and after the game, we knew to sincerely shake hands, whether we won or lost, with our opponents. And that still remains. And tonight, there are 4 members of that 1950 basketball team. 4 out of the 10 are here tonight. Most of the others, several are deceased. But Bill Houts and Dick Dunlap and Bill Clark and I were on that 1950 team. And I give credit to my teammates for being able to be a part of the whole reason that I was able to receive a basketball scholarship at the University of Pittsburgh, and later an engineering degree when I graduated there. Once again, this is what I try. Respect and teamwork is the thing that I think have been terribly important. It should be important to everyone. It gets you a long way. I worked on highway work for 2 years, and again, respect, teamwork were terribly important in that, and also my time with the U.S. Army and the Reserve. I returned to Oil City. The area is good for our family and companies. My father laid the groundwork for business relationships with me, and we had a talented group of workers, people that worked with us. Some of them are here this evening, and I appreciate that. To do contracting work for those many years, we never failed to finish a project that we were awarded, and that makes me very proud. I got involved with organizations when I returned, and respect and teamwork were certainly part of that association. As a member, I met many exceptional men and women. I joined the JCs, the Adelphoi Club. Lee mentioned the Groveville Cemetery. I've been on that board for 47 years. The Salvation Army for over 20 years. And Now, as it was told, the Salvation Army has got this terrific dental center, which our area certainly needed. I also was on the Oil City Hospital Board of Directors. I was active in the Good Hope Lutheran Church all my life. Nango Museum, Old White Travelers basketball team that we traveled all over the countryside, and several of the Elks Club, several social organizations, and in this time with these organizations, I found that I received back much more than I ever put in them, and that is terribly gratifying to me. I've always been optimistic about our area and encourage all the people to be involved. That's what it really needs and what it really counts. And I'm also grateful to my family, my friends, my colleagues. The paths that I have walked would have been much more difficult without them. In closing, I thank everyone, and most of all, I thank God for the good life that I have received. I wish you were in charge of doing some driveways. And the house driveway was one of the first ones, and so I went up and we scraped the grass off and put down the asphalt, and it really, I can recall, it looked very good. And about 2 months later, Newhouse called me and he said, "Who's going to cut the grass on the driveway?" I went up there and I couldn't believe it.